Few days ago at Microsoft Build 2026, GitHub shipped something brand new. Not a plugin, not a button, a whole application. The GitHub Copilot app turns your desktop into a mission control for a team of AI assistants. I've got it installed right here, and in the next 20 minutes, I'll show you some hands-on demos. Let's dive in. All right, so this is the GitHub Copilot app, the main blog of what was announced, the agent native desktop experience. In June 2nd, it was announced in Microsoft Build. You can go over the details. We'll put a link of this GitHub blog on the description. But what really interesting is this. Here is a problem GitHub set out to solve, okay? AI suddenly write codes everywhere, okay? On GitHub alone, saved code changes nearly doubled in a year. As you can see, crossing 1.4 billion per month. But here is the catch. Our tool were built for one human in one window doing one thing, okay? The moment you try to run several AI assistant at once, it falls apart. Windows everywhere. You open window for agent here and there. You forgot what's running, and code shows up with no clear paper trail of what did what, okay? The Copilot app gives all these assistants a single home and gives it to you as a steering wheel, okay? It's in one application, as I'm going to show on this video. Okay, first of all, you need to download the GitHub Copilot app from this official GitHub repo, and depends on the operating system you are using. But what really important is to have Git installed, and you'll need to have a active Copilot subscription, whether it's a Copilot Pro, Pro Plus, Enterprise, one of the Copilot licenses. You have to have it in place. Those who have the free, they will be in the wait list. I do recommend only those who have the Copilot subscription to download this and start using it. All right, here I opened the GitHub Copilot Desktop App. As you can see, not a strange UI to Microsoft, but because it works with Copilot, as you know now, Copilot is a multi-model app. So we'll see that Anthropic models are included here, OpenAI model, GPT are included, Google Gemini 3.1 Pro is included. And in every model, I can see also the tokenization information. For example, Opus 4.7, I can see AI credit per 1 million token will consume 500 in the input, and in the output 2,500. So be careful when you are using these models. And even if you have longer context, you can just press the longer context, and as you can see now, it accepts 1 million. Okay, 1 million in a context perspective. All right, and if you are using, if you were using GitHub Copilot inside the VS Code, you're already familiar with the mode. There is interactive, plan, and the autopilot. Autopilot might be new, but again, interactive, it's step by step. Okay, you want to make, for example, an application. You write a command, and it replies back. Do you want me to do this? And you give approval, and that's goes on. Okay. In the plan, you don't consume anything. You start planning, okay? Just to be very careful with your tokens, and be very sensitive with that. So you first make the plan. It's like a chat you are making with the Copilot, and after agreeing on some sort of final plan, then you will execute. And autopilot is different. Autopilot, you are giving your neck to the Copilot, okay? And you give the full trust after making all of your plans, and then it will execute everything, and you'll just sit and eat some popcorn. Okay, from here I'll go to my work. As you can see, I connected to one of my repos. This repo, I created 3 issues actually, and we can see them here. And one of them is bug, apply bulk discount. I'll open it, I'll read some information about it, okay? And from here, I'll open new session. So, okay, watch what just happened. Worktree created. The app made something called Git Worktrees. Here is the simple version of the Worktree. It's a private, isolated copy of my project for this assistance only to work on it, okay? It's like giving each cook in the kitchen their own cutting board. They can chop away without messing up with anything else in the station, okay? The app created it for me, and it clean up it automatically. No manual branch juggling. Okay, in the bug here, I can see the acceptance criteria. 3 steps: use the total quantity, threshold is strictly greater than 10 units, add unit test governing both qualifying. I don't want to go to the details about the bug. I want the agent inside to solve it for me. So from here, let's say fix this bug per acceptance criteria, then run the tests. Let's see. Let's see. It's running. I put it in auto, but by the way, I can change it. But let's keep it to auto. It will choose the suitable LLM model based on my prompt and my issue. Okay, I'll inspect the issue details and let's start inspecting. What's nice, I'm seeing everything in live, even the steps it's working on it. If I press on one, I'll see also details about what it's actually doing. And boom, I found the root cause in this file. I'm applying focused fixed and adding acceptance test coverages now. Running everything in actually autopilot mode. I'll in the next one I'll put it to autopilot. It will feel more comfortable. Okay, fixed. Apply bulk discount now applies the 10% discount per total quantity. Great. And it made also the test. npm test now passes with 3/3 tests. Great. It went to the terminal and made the test, and now it verified that the test is working. And from here, I can see the auto actually for this task ran GPT for 5.3 in codex. And what I also can see the differences, okay, what was added, what also what was removed from here, the changes, the red what was removed and the green what was added. I can make the review on this. Okay, we can actually, let's steer this on, okay, and say, add a test for a single cart line with quantity 20. Let's see what the output. I kept it as auto and in interactive mode. And now it's running the test after adding the quantity 20. Let's see, it's verifying the changes. We can run direct on terminal from here. Done. I added single line cart with quantity 20 to test. And I said it get discounted. And it got discounted. And the test passed successfully. Okay, now that we have the issue resolved, let's make the pull request. And from here, I wrote the prompt, commit these changes and open pull request targeting master. Give it a clear title and description that reference issue 1. As you can see here, it's referencing issue number 1. Okay, I'll commit the current changes, push the branch and open a pull request against master. And done. I committed these changes and opened PR targeting, and it referenced also the URL link to my GitHub. Great. And here, see fix bulk discount. Okay, now that we pulled the changes in the pull request, we can see here something called agent merge, which is automate your pull request life cycle. Let's enable it. We'll see allow the agent to address reviews, fix CI failures, resolve conflicts, and it has also merge pull, and it also have merge pull requests. So right now it sees the project is projected, okay? So here the agent tracks the requirement, respond to the feedback I leave, and keep the PR moving until every box is ticketed. So I can see it's working. So it's like a diligent teammate chasing down the latest approval so you changes doesn't get stuck. Okay, I'll check all the merges. So here, if you notice, I'm running it in autopilot, so it's not asking me for approvals or anything. I give it all everything pre-approved. Okay, so it's working without notifying me about anything until it finishes and showing me, as we can see, the summary. It already finished. Reviews, checks, measurables, the primary measure with no conflicts. So this PR is waiting for at least one approval from our repository reviewer. Here, where security folks should be relaxed, I decide how much freedom it gets. By default, I ask. So the agent works inside the guard lines. It never hallucinates. Only once I trust it do I. Okay, as you can see here, it all works, and it gave me the summary. And here, where should the security folks relaxed, I decide how much freedom it gives me. And as you can see, this PR is waiting for at least one approval from a repo reviewer. So my project's protection rule and required reviews stay fully enforce the agent work inside my guidelines, and it never hallucinates. Once I trust it fully, I do flip it here to autopilot, as we mentioned before, autopilot, without at the end requesting your approval. Autopilot means you're approving and you're giving the consent to do everything on your behalf. Okay, everything happened so far directly with the sessions on the issues that we worked on. Now I'm dropping into the Copilot CLI another thing called sandboxes. So, what sandbox is actually, it's like a safety bubble. Okay, it lets the AI run, test, fix real code without being able to touch anything in real. Okay, so not my files, not my network, not my system. Okay, like think about it like a chemistry experiment. Okay, behind safety glass, there's something blows up, it stays in the bubble, it does not come to you. Okay, so from here I can call it sandbox. I see it does not exist, so I'll enable it. By the way, there's here is the skills that are built in with the GitHub Copilot. Of course, I can create new automations, whether they are skills or something in cron base. I'll run like an automation. Okay, but back to skills here, sandbox. I'll enable it first of all to be able to use it. Okay, sandbox mode is now enabled for the session. Your code command will run, as you can see, in isolated environment. So anything you want to run, like in a test mode, this is a great solution for you. Changes are contained to the workforce and won't affect other session or the main checkout. Okay, from here I can say um, run npm test and show me the result. All right, so I can see all tests passed, and I can see it runs inside the bubble, so all is great. Okay, from here, let's say start the server with the npm start and put it in the local host and show me the JSON response. Again, everything I'm running here, as you can see in the branch, it's in the sandbox mode. So nothing is affecting. So if error or whatever happens, it does not affect the real code I'm running. Okay, starting server and testing endpoints. I'm already using it. Uh, Actually, I'll kill the session. But again, it retrieves the JSON file for me, which is great in the GET request. Let me try one more prompt. I'll ask it to read my home directory and list files outside this project folder. This is where it gets somehow dangerous. Again, it's remote code execution, so it went and read the files that I have, the folders that I have in my desktop, and it listed them out here. And it gives note at the end, sandbox mode isolates right in the worktree, but reads from the border file system and still accessible. No sensitive file were open, just directory listing. It does not, it put only the directories, as you can see. All right, so the last thing I wanted to show is the skills that we have over here. Again, we have previous episodes about skills, how we use them in the VS Code, actually the GitHub Copilot inside the VS Code. Now I can use the skills right away from here, whether they are built in or whether they are custom created. As we can see, there's built-in skills as the agent merge that we saw before. And we have also MCP servers. We can connect servers. These are the existing, and of course we can add another servers. Okay, so from here also I can dictate instead of writing long prompts. And as you can see here, we can run recurring automations, whether we can go to automation, create a new one, or we can, if we want something scheduled, chronicle, we can call a chronicle tool. As you can see here, there's chronicle, chronicle tips, chronicle search, chronicle stand up. Again, a lot of good stuff here with the tools and skills that we already have. By the way, they created a nice game here for waiting. Once you write a prompt, especially if it's long, there's something to boring game to keep playing with it. Okay, at the end, two honest notes before you adopt this. First, everything I showed is still in technical preview, except rough edges and features that may change. Second, around the same time, GitHub shifted Copilot towards usage based billing. You pay for what you actually use, and that prompted really discussion in the community about the cost. So, my advice is simple and glamorous. Run a small pilot, measure something concrete like pull requests, merge per dollar, okay, before and after, and let the data decide whether it's worth it or not for your team. Don't adopt because it's a hype. Adopt it only in case the numbers are really working for you. So if you are on Pro Plus Business or Enterprise, you can try GitHub Copilot app today. On the free plan, you can join the waitlist. I'll put in the description link some sources of the official articles, so you can check the details yourself over there. And yeah, thanks for watching. And now go direct to your agent team of assistants. I'll see you in the next one.